Hello, hello, hello. My name is Sam, otherwise known as Function, and it's fantastic to be back in the world of Supreme Commander Forge Lands forever. Today, we're looking at a 2v2. I think my favorite format. Really cool to see 2v2s. I love them. I love playing them. I love watching them. I love casting them. Today, we are looking at a 2v2 on Desert Crisis. Before we look at the map, let's meet the players. On Team 1 in red, we've got the Scarlet player Zlo, sitting at 1961 rating points, our highest rated player in this game. Second red player in Burgundy, we've got P6, who I believe we've seen before on the channel. He's sitting at 1197 rating points. Then over in the south on Team 2 in Baby Blue, we have Sulfur 1 playing Seraphim. He is sitting at 1705 rating points, and his ally in Dark Blue playing UEF, we have Flying Olsen, who we've definitely seen on this channel before. I think in a 2v2, in fact. And he is sitting at 1493 rating points. So Team 2 a little bit closer together. Team 1 with very much a pro and very much a Joe player. Let's take a look at the map. It is Desert Crisis. I've played on this map once before. It's kind of a weird map. You've got actually quite a lot of mass, 41,000 mass to be reclaimed off the bat, but it's all spread out. It's all in these 38 rocks and trees. I think some of them are, no, maybe they are all rocks. Okay. All these 38s that you see, they're all rocks. They're all spread out. There's a few near the base, but there's a ton in the central area and these corridors over here. So actually quite important to get your commanders and engineers to the front lines fairly early, and we can see that P6 straight off the bat getting his commander forwards. He's helping with the Hydro, and then I think he's going to continue forwards with that commander. Let's just speed things up. We've got a little bit of early aggression. We've got a Hunter out from Zlo. I believe Zlo pretty much exclusively plays Cybran, always has. And we've got a Selene over on the left-hand side there for Sulfur. That looks like it's going to get blapped in short order. There we go. And the Hunter over here. There is a defending striker for this engineer, although Hunter may be able to get into range. No. A little bit of better micro might have allowed that Hunter to kill the engineer. It would have been replaced quickly, but better than nothing, I suppose. Got a little bit of a party going up on the right-hand side here for Flying Olsen. P6, Flying Olsen's brought his commander out of the base. He hasn't actually started work on Hydro. That's definitely a mistake. He's got a ton of power generators in his base, and he hasn't started work on the Hydro. I think some players hesitant to build the hydrocarbon when it's so far away from their base. You have to do a whole lot of walking, but it's still definitely worth it. Very efficient hydrocarbon. It costs about twice as much mass as a regular T1P gen, but produces 5 times the amount of power. This run by going up on the right hand side there for Flying Olsen gets blapped away. Looks like there were some engineer kills, but we've got a couple of Mantis in the area, so they will very slowly continue to build up this factory blueprint. Sulfur's actually managed to get a Tham and a Selene onto this back plateau. When I played, I believe, so I was playing in this position, and my ally took control of this central position. I'm not sure if that's the way to do it. It looks like Team 2 has done it that way. I didn't count the mexes. As we see a bomber come in overhead and clear out those Thams with the assistance of some Mantis. There is still one Tham at the top there. And a Selene with its cloaking on. That will be very hard to spot, especially since the only source of Omni, the commander, is walking forwards. We've got a T2 upgrade being started there for Sulfur, about 15% in. Still no hydrocarbon, that's a shame to see. We see T2 being started on Olsen there. So potentially just going to skip over the hydrocarbon and go straight for T2 power. Oh no, the FAM actually gonna kill this engineer. The micro comes down. Oh, dodges straight into that last shot. So it's gonna take a while for these 4-5 mexes to be built, it looks like. No edge build. So a little bit slow to get started for Team 1 because of the good harass coming out from Sulfur there. Really nice to see. A little bit of a forward position created on this corridor, this upper sort of raised section there. A little run by attempted for P6 down the left hand side. I think, no, there's no wreck there, so he didn't actually get a kill on the mechs. Just distracting his opponent a little bit. And then a bit of a run by up the middle, but again going to be easily defended. Nobody able to make any enormous blows at the minute. An engineer, however, about to get blapped by a raiding party from Flying Olsen over on the right hand side. Units are massing in the middle a little bit. Like I said, there's a ton of mass here. You can see 15k mass on the screen there, so spread out in this area. Defensive units coming out from Zlo on the right hand side. Olsen with probably about, I don't know, 15 tanks in that mix there. Pushing P6 back a little bit. He's getting some rendezvous units from Sulfur over on the left hand side, and Sulfur actually pushing up on the far left as well. He's got more units, but there are factories pumping out units there for P6. And bit of a mistake potentially. Units from Flying Olsen moving forwards just into range of the enemy. It's going to move them back though. We've actually got T2 land for P6. That's rather good. And a Sillen making it all the way up to this highest plateau over on the top left. Sulfur trying to push this position. Looks like he's decided that he's got enough units, so he's going to continue forwards. Nice little patchwork of colours going on in the middle here, I like that. Gun upgrade started for P6 as he is losing the base. We do see a couple of Zooies in the area here. So these factories should go down reasonably quickly, maybe. Keep an eye on it, but Slow moving in with a nice horseshoe formation to take out the units that were amassing here for Team 2, and those blue units are going to have to back off. P6 coming in to assist, and a lot of T1 factories for Zlo, not going for any tech. Do we see any tech? We've got T2 land out for Flying Olsen. I don't see any tech for Sulfur. I believe he has the T2 upgrade on his comm, so he's got a couple of PDs going for a slight creep forwards, potentially going to start reclaiming. Actually, he's just moving forward to the comm there. Units from Zlo pushing forwards. There's a wall section being rapidly spammed up along the entrance to this corridor here. It's not completed. If these units from Zlo get in through this gap, they might be able to do some damage. Units coming across from Sulfur to maybe try and defend, but the move order comes down from Zlo, and they are going to be able to fit through this gap. Not sure how high up this slope units can get. You can see they can get quite high up, so probably about 10 or so more wall sections would have needed to be completed there for Sulfur to block off those Mantis from coming through. You can see they're getting a little bit bottlenecked, but the rearmost units are going to get killed by the units coming in from Sulfur, but now Sulfur's getting bottlenecked on his own wall sections. He might and to destroy those wall sections. No. Yes. So he's able to control K those wall sections. He actually left one. I think that's confusing the pathfinding a little bit, but units getting in for Zlo. They managed to get the hydrocarbon over here. Managed to get a Mex. There's actually a T2 Mex rather far forwards there for Sulfur. And the units from Zlo will clear that out. There's a lot of Zooies here for Sulfur. So as long as Zlo keeps these units on the move, which maybe he's not going to do, yeah, static units don't fare too well against artillery. They do start moving now, but not enough of them left. Units over on the right hand side here that Zlo took down this other corridor, they are having to retreat in the face of T2 units, a parashield there, plus a couple of pillars, I believe. But a big push. Zlo just spamming out those T1 units. And Sulfur having to retreat somewhat. Looks like both of these T2 point defense going down. That one had 15 kills. I'm not sure how many that one had. There's one back here with 17 kills. Sulfur sitting pretty on 13,000 hit points. Units from Zlo not focusing that comm for now, just pushing them out of the territory. T1 point defense going up. There's no artillery. There we go, there's some Medusa. So if Zlo is paying attention, he may be able to get this PD pretty quickly, but as it is, the two T1 PDs and two T2, they're getting quite a lot of work done. As you can see, 32 kills on this forward one, although it's about to go down rather quickly now. 34 kills. Okay, one more. 37 kills. And it goes down. See a little bit of fighting going on over here. I think Zlo tried to push in here at the same time, but also able to continue to push forwards with those T2 units. A decent number of pillars, about 6 pillars in the mix there for Olsen. And we'll get a decent amount of work done. I believe, interestingly, I think pillars are have the lowest HP of any T2 main battle tank. If you include the Obsidian's shield. I think that is true. Milshivers have 2,500. Rhinos have 1,900. I'm not sure how many Obsidians have, but including the shield, it's a lot. And we can see the pillars only have 1,500. So a little bit odd for a UEF unit to have so few hit points, but there you go. You see this Selene with its cloaking still. Let's see what this you can see. Can't really see anything. The radar's not high enough, and I've got my Idle Engineers mod on. What a travesty. I'm not going to restart the recording though. We are 13 minutes in and it's not really too much of a bother. Units continuing to move forward. I think this wall section was complete, but the Mantis actually focus firing it. I think if Sulfur was paying attention, he would have been able to kill these Mantis before they got through that gap, but they do get through and kill a T2 mech, so definitely a mistake there from Sulfur, I believe. We've got T2 power now for Olsen. Do we have T2 power over here? Just being spammed up. Still no tech whatsoever for Zlo. You can see tons of T1 PGens all over the shop. Does he have any upgrades on his comm? No, he's got no upgrades, so he's literally on T1 all over the shop. Every other player currently with T2 available to them. Zlo deciding that quantity over quality is the way to go, and sometimes it is. If all you're trying to do is convert mass into raw DPS, T1 is definitely the way to go. A little bit of a push over on the right hand side, potentially some defending Mantis units, but a lot of T2 units there for Olsen will allow him to just roll on through. But here in the middle we've got a big push coming out from Zlo once again, and these control cade wall sections have not been rebuilt, so Zlo may be able to get a decent number of units through this gap here. There are some more T2 point defenses that have been spammed up there for Sulfur. And gun upgrade now completed on that commander, 13,500 hit points, plus the gun upgrade. Is that right about the Rhinos? Yeah, 1,900 hit points on a Rhino. A couple of them in the mix. P6 with gun and radar. Not full cloaking, I don't believe. Yeah, they can see that commander. They just can't see it on the radar. But Zlo redirecting those forces, doesn't want to face up against all these T2 units coming out from Olsen. Going to attack this defensive position that Sulfur has built up. Now, you can see that Zlo has a ton of units on the front. If you look at his reclaim, he's 40k reclaim. He's 24k reclaim ahead of the next highest player, and that is because he keeps cutting out new small regions of territory and immediately gets tons of engineers onto the front line to reclaim them. You can see there's very large wrecks in those T2 those T2 point defenses, and see they're getting sucked up by Zlo very quickly. He's going to have to feint back by the looks of it. He killed all of those T2 PDs, but T2 land units coming out for Olsen to assist in the defense, and we've got actually a T1 push over on the left hand side, mostly Zoes, all Zoes plus one Ilsheva and one Therm actually right at the front there, destroying these factories finally, and a push over on the right hand side for Olsen. I think he destroyed these PDs earlier, but continuing to push forwards. And Sulfur still spamming up more T2 PDs. Just so many units on the field for Zlo. See over here, if you look at the land unit counts here, it's got 400 land units total. That does include factories, I believe, but he's got 180 Mantis, he's got 88 Medusa, and a smattering of the anti-air units, whose name I forget. P6 assisting with Zlo's push, using that commander that he has available to him with the upgrades. 2 PDs in defense now, one of them going close to being destroyed, but still managing to stay alive. And the push over on the right hand side for Olsen petering out. That parashield still alive, but his shield has gone down. You can see just 150 hit points on the chassis of that thing, but it is actually going to get out of range of the Mantis, and that shield will come back online. And Zlo still just trying to take control of this territory. There's a ton of mass here. If you zoom in on the right spot, you can see about 8,000 mass to be reclaimed. Olsen and Sulfur getting a little bit of it, but so many units in the area. I think Sulfur's he's going for another PD creep to try and reclaim this area. I wonder how worth it would be for him to just reclaim with his commander, and that's what he's doing now. He's decided he's got enough PDs to secure the area. He's just going to start reclaiming with the commander. The commander, of course, with extended build/reclaim range, and with the T2 engineering, so he can reclaim lots of wrecks very quickly. But he's starting work on the nano repair, so that's going to be the third upgrade there for that commander. Zlo deciding that he doesn't want to continue to fight this position. It's a losing battle, he says. So he's going to move down onto the right-hand corridor. There are no PDs that I can see. There's a couple of PDs over on the far right over here. But yeah, no PDs, just land units, a few T2s, a few T1s. But Zlo going to keep the pressure up. And we've got a big push, big T2 push over on the left-hand side for P6. Going to he defended against the push that Sulfur sent his way, potentially going to continue to push forwards with units of his own. Look at the reclaim fields, lots of idle engineers there for Zlo. You can see they've got the purple numbers instead of the white. That means they are currently idle, for those of you who don't know. But Sulfur moving forwards with the assistance of his PDs and T1 and T2 units. He's moving forwards, reclaiming this field, both in terms of territory and mass. Commander getting a little bit stuck. You can see 92 hit points a second, and max hit points sitting at about 19k there. We just saw a missile launcher. Yeah, there we go. So tactical missile launcher being used for P6. Definitely not a bad idea. Very easy way to kill these undefended T2 PDs. No TMD in the area currently. A lot of T1 land factories going pop there for Zlo. Usually that means he's going for a tech upgrade, and he's actually skipping over tech 2. He's going straight for T3. You can see he's got 3 T2 engineers. He's built some hives, engineering stations, and now he's control K'd a bunch of T1 factories, and he's going to reclaim those, about 200 mass in each of those factories, so definitely worth it. If you take a look at the numbers, how much does this upgrade cost? We can't actually see. Can we take a look at someone else's? He's upgrading as well. I don't know why I couldn't see this button on the other one, but anyway, about 4,000 hit points, 4,000 mass in fact, to upgrade from T2 to T3 HQ. Distinct lack of engineers out for P6. I'm not sure why that is. It's not like he has an enormous number of factories or anything, so I don't know where his build power is. Take a look. He's able to spend 87 mass per tick. I'm not exactly sure how. Maybe I'm missing something. Upgrading. He's got some T3 mass production, but Zlo easing off on the pressure. He's got tons of T1 units still, but doesn't want to push at the minute. TMD has been built there on the front lines. The Sulfur looks like just the one point defense went down. 3 kills on this thing. Maybe it killed something further forwards, I don't know. But a proper fire base being built up there for Sulfur on the front lines. It's difficult to know what to do in these situations because this is a triple upgraded comm that is building a defensive position, which seems odd to me. But Sulfur is a 1700 rated player, so he knows what he's doing far more than I do. T3 engineers being built now for Sulfur. That's one for P6. Sorry, that's one way to get build power up. And Loyalists being built out of this newly completed T3 factory. We've got a bunch of T3 engineers that have just finished a T3 power station. So yeah, you can see a Loyalist has already been built. The power station went up pretty quickly. But Team 2 just trying to move forwards, trying to kill some of these T1 units that Zlo amassed for himself. As the first Loyalist is about to hit the front lines, but Sulfur moving forwards with that commander, and that will do a lot of damage. You can see 64 kills on that commander so far, rising every minute. Zlo just trying to pull some of these units over in defense. He's very much on the back foot now, especially compared to where he was before. Control getting some more factories. Potentially to upgrade some mexes maybe. So he's building, he's capping the T2 mexes that he has, which takes a decent amount of mass, so trying to feed that with his factory Rex. He's got a lot of hives and stuff that aren't being used, but I guess he can't really spend any more mass. He's right on the line in terms of production versus expenditure, and a whole bunch of Titans over on the right hand side. So I missed the T3 upgrade for Flying Olsen, but he's got 5 Titans on the front line. We know how strong those things are. Absolutely beastly units. T2 push over on the left hand side here for Sulfur. So take a look at the economies. Team 1 about 30,000 mass total ahead, and now on the back foot they're a little bit lackluster I think on T3 units, although I say that, see, absolute spam coming out. That is a very quick Loyalist production facility, the hives assisting there. Slow, making pretty good use of the mass, although he's stalling heavily now. Still trying to build those mass storages, and he's going for T3 air now. He's certainly got the power to do it. This push in the middle looks like it's petered out a little bit for Team 2, but they're trying to build a new firebase. It's like one T2PD went down to something. That missile launcher has been killed, so it wasn't that. It was the mobile missile launchers. But T2 units from P6 having to retreat. Tons of loyalists amassing but not pushing. Loads of Titans on the right hand side here, but this sort of right central corridor looks a little bit open to me. There are triads in there, but loyalists will be able to push through those. Attempt at a push over on the left hand side for Sulfur, but a brick plus a bunch of rhinos and co will be able to make light work of that. So all 4 players now, you can see those Othams, the siege tanks for Sulfurs, so all 4 players have made the jump to T3, and a monkey being started up here. That terrible, disgusting unit. Look at that thing. There was some other weird skeletons. This is interesting. I've never seen this before. That's quite a cool skeleton for those Cybran T3 power generators. But anyway, usually this still surviving. But was that a HQ? Why was the HQ so far forwards? There's a T3 HQ back here. Maybe my eyes were playing tricks on me, but I think that was a HQ. Hopefully it was only a T2, but 2 Othams going down, 3rd one soon to follow. Not able to kill either of the bricks. One of the bricks on very low health and no veterancy, so it won't be able to recharge very quickly, although it is... Oh, I was going to say it's Cybran, so it's regenning health, but actually the brick not regenning. I think it's only the structures that naturally regen, and a weird formation around this one Medusa in the middle here. That's pretty gross. Got a thumbnail of that. Weird. Cybrans are weird. But Titans going down to air units. Was it a strap bomber maybe or something like that? Getting a bunch of Titan kills. Let's see. Can we see any wrecks? Yeah, that is a strap bomb wreck. Cybran strap bomb wreck. So Zlo skipping over the ASFs initially and building one strap bomber to kill a few Titans, and Olsen actually going to be able to reclaim some of that mass. Zlo going to be able to reclaim his own mass, so it's a bit of an even trade. I saw some ASFs out for Olsen there, a couple of ASFs there. So T3 air available for Team 2 now, and Zlo is responding by building ASFs of his own. A little bit of a lull now. We've got a big T3/T1 army for Zlo. Zlo, I suppose, forgetting that T2 exists. He never learned to count. He never learned the number 2. He skipped that day in preschool. Just goes straight from 1 to 3. It is sad, but you know, he makes it work. We'll speed things up a little bit. Not a whole lot happening right now. A bit of an engineer push over here, trying to get those Othum wrecks. Othum moving forwards, killing the rhinos, but not before the last of the engineers goes down. Trying to reclaim this wreck, actually. 1100 mass to be reclaimed from that factory HQ. We have a bunch of T3 mass now for Zlo. He's not producing any more loyalists as yet, unless he's got forward facilities. No support factories for Zlo. And both teams trying to reclaim this mass, but T3 engineer building a T2 mass extractor and then reclaiming these wrecks. So a lot of mass going back in the way of Team 1, and actually Zlo getting some of that mass from himself. 81,000 reclaim. He's still double Flying Olsen's reclaim. You can see he's only 40k mass ahead, so that entire mass bonus that he has over sulfur comes from his reclaim, the improved reclaim that he's got. We've got a starting. Wow, that's a very quick Monkey Lord for Slow. That's insane. That's too fast, Slow. You need to slow down. Damn, I'm funny. But Monkey Lord finished for P6. Get it? Because it's funny because slow sounds like slow. That's why it's funny for anyone wondering. Just thought I'd explain that. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. But yeah, Monkey Lord almost finished there for Zlo to assist P6's Monkey Lord, and Nuke Silo being started back here. Not going up quite as quickly as that Monkey Lord that we saw. If we have a look at the mass income, yeah, you can see. Wow, Flying Olsen actually has the most income. What is he building? Just building Percivals at the minute. There you can see as those that Monkey Lord gets transferred across and the notify stuff gets confused. We've actually got an Ethota finished for Sulfur. Let's take a look at the skeleton on that. That's pretty weird. Ugh, with its weird knees. Ugh, terrible. Terrible. I love it. But Ethota marching forwards. Wondering if he was gonna start nuke defense or nuke silo of his own. That nuke silo about halfway completed there for P6. And very far forwards engineers for Sulfur, getting some of the reclaim that P6 never got on this raised section of land. Those Monkey Lords just sitting back doing nothing. That's a lot of mass investment and not a lot of usage currently. One of them moving forwards, one of them moving backwards, and then the other one just slowly making that U-turn. Got a bunch of sniper bots on the front lines for Sulfur, and also on the front lines are a bunch of units in range of Cerberus turrets. That's definitely not the way you want to do it. There are some siege tanks that are moving forwards. Can use that high alpha damage that they've got on their one weapon. Get in range of the second weapon as well. Nice to see. Actually, they're going to move back. Oh, Sulfur isn't sure what he wants to do. And a bunch of T2 and T3 units moving forwards for P6 now. So I think Sulfur has missed the window, although he is actually destroying those T2 point defenses very quickly as the last one goes down there. As the last one goes down there. As the last one goes down. Good. Do we see, where's the Ethota gone? I've lost an experimental. There it is, right at the front lines. 32 kills already on that thing, so it's assisting with the destruction of those T2PDs. But coming back to defend against these Monkey Lords by the looks of it. The Monkey Lords charging straight forwards at the Ethota. Ethota with significantly longer range than the Monkey Lord, but two Monkey Lords have very high DPS, so if they get in range of the Ethota, they will blap it down, I believe, especially with the assistance of all of these spammed out Medusa and Loyalists that Zlo has available to him. Is he producing more stuff? He's not. I'm surprised he's not producing bricks at this point. There we go. No more experimentals. What is Zlo spending his mass on? Nothing. He's only spending 58 mass a second, which is not ideal. Some broadswords coming out from Flying Olsen to chip away at those Monkey Lords. Monkey Lords both down to about 19% hit points. Sulfur with another experimental. A very quick Ethota has been completed there. I think those Monkey Lords need to kill the first Ethota quickly, otherwise they're going to be facing up against 2 Ethotas and 2 Monkey Lords. Cannot kill 2 Ethotas. Well, that was not the most impressive plasma ion super death cannon, whatever it's called. Not a lot, or not any anti-air. There's no bouncers or even T2 flak. There's one T2 flak at the back here, but very much out of range of the broadswords, and this broadsword's just putting in the work. The amount of veterancy you get is based on the amount of mass that you kill. So I was actually expecting these broadswords to go up a bunch of vet, but I didn't see that. Oh well. But the second Ethota has made it to the front lines, and that's going to be very scary for Zlo as all of those units stop moving. They're bouncing into each other. Big cannon shot. Killing a bunch of units there for one of the Ethota. 141 kills! 35k mass killed. 58 kills for this second one, but that is a ton of damage. Says Slow. You can see lots of bangers being built very, 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 very bad. Exeter. Got another Ethota being built for Sulfur. How's the nuke silo going? Not well. Well, the silo itself has been complete, but the missile is not being built anymore. It's going for a megalith. Guessing that's because we've seen T3 TMD or SMD, sorry. Oh, I can't see any nuke defense. There's a nuke defense over here. Doesn't have anything in it. I can't see any nuke defense, so I think that P6 should probably continue work on that that nuke. He's gonna have basically his entire base destroyed by all of these Ethota. There is a Monkey Lord in defense. I suppose if he can build this megalith quickly enough. It's going up really quite slowly. And the Ethota walking further and further forwards. There's a bunch of Gatling guns going to the ground. Boom. Monkey Lord just doesn't even know what it wants to do. Oh, taking some Gatling gun shots. Oh, there we go. Megalith completed, but it's on the wrong side of the map. Don't know about that. Ton of broadswords come out for Flying Olsen. They're going to get a lot of work done. There's no anti-air at all in this area for P6 as that second Monkey Lord finally goes down. Both the Ethota's on about half hit points. This one in danger of going down, although there's definitely not enough bricks and broadswords making it over to P6's base. They go for the power, and then they start work on the Megalith blueprint. Actually going to move away. Maybe they don't want to be in range of this commando when it goes pop. Although 6,000 hit points on those broadswords, they won't die to the commando explosion in a big ASF battle. Coming out, one of those. Oh no, both of the Ethota still alive. This one 100 kills. This one on 5 ranks of vet. They're actually keeping P6 has come alive, and P6 has actually gifted all of those structures over to Zlo. So the Ethota and the broadswords going over to Zlo's base. No anti-air that I can see for Zlo. So these ion reactors are going to go pop there. Actually, Zlo doing a reclaim trick. If you reclaim a volatile structure, if you're reclaiming it as it dies, it won't explode, but all of the T3 power production for Zlo has been killed. Let's see, 10,000 mass on the veterancy on that megalith. It did manage to kill any Thota, but both of the red commanders get control K'd. We beat Zlo, says Sulfur. Zlo has been around in this game for a long time. He's extremely good at the game. So Team 2 happy about beating him. Zlo is keeping up the pressure for quite a long time in the middle with that T1 spam, but maybe, I don't know, should have made the jump to T2 or T3 earlier, or kept the pressure up for longer. I'm not really sure, but Team 2 were behind on total mass quite significantly, and they managed to pull back into the game. But yeah, that was a fun one. Enjoy 2v2s, I hope you do too. Tell me what you think Zlo and P6 should have done to win that game. Tell me what you think of the video. Tell me about your day in the comments down below. But anyway, thanks for watching. I will see you next time. Bye bye.